against those things that will defile you. You move yourself from people. You know that you don't eat no pork. You know all these things. So you're always wrestling for that pureness, that wholesomeness, so that you can have what? An alliance with the Ruach of YaH. See? So Yahweh to show you. So let's go to Joshua 23. Okay? Joshua 23. We wanna definitely see that Yahweh God, Joshua 23. And let's start at verse 10. 23 verse 10.
One man of you shall chase 1,000 for Yahweh your God. He it is that fighteth for you, as he had promised you.
That's right. See, Yahweh God was doing the fight. Israel wasn't doing no fight. But how could Israel have that alliance unless Israel kept the commandments? Now let's go up to verse 6 and read down to verse 13. Okay? Let's go.
Be ye therefore very courageous to keep and to do all that is written in the book of the law of Moses.
Yeah, see, he said, be courageous and keep these things that are written in the Torah of Moses, that ye turn not aside therefrom to the right hand or to the left. See, he was telling them, it's very important. If you're going to have this power, you can't deviate. There's no deviation in this law. You're bringing judgment against people. How can the judge be defiled and bring judgment against the same person that he has behind closed doors? He's breaking the law. The law must be perfect to execute law. You can't be a cop and break the law and then execute and put the same guy in jail for something you already done. That's not fair. That's not balanced. Law has to be perfect. You got to understand, Yahweh didn't say, well, Israel, you can break it a little bit. He said, no, you got to keep it all. There was no excuse. It's because we were law keepers. Therefore, we executed the judgment of the law. The Torah taught us to execute it. But according to our own what conduct? And our conduct had to be perfect with the Ruach of YaH. So go ahead. 7.
That ye come not among these nations, these that remain among you, neither make mention of the name of their gods, nor cause to swear by them, neither serve them, nor bow yourselves unto them, but cleave unto Yahweh your God, as ye have done unto this day. For Yahweh hath driven out from before you great nations and strong. But as for you, no man has been able to stand before you unto this day. One man of you shall chase 1,000, for Yahweh your God, he it is that fighteth for you, and as he promised you. Take good heed, therefore, unto yourselves, that ye love Yahweh your God. Else, if ye do in any wise go back and cleave unto the remnant of these nations, even these that remain among you, and shall make marriages with them, and go in unto them, and they to you, know for certainty that Yahweh your God will no more drive out any of the nations from before you, but they shall be snares and traps unto you, and scourges in your sides, and thorns in your eyes, until ye perish off this good land which Yahweh your God hath given you.
That's right. That was a commandment. Yahweh said, don't leave none of them. Don't even marry them.
Don't marry them.
That's right. See, y'all don't understand. Y'all see these women, are they pretty? He said, you can't marry them. Leave them alone. The reason why they in that land fight, because they all look alike, because they married. And they supposed to know the Lord. You can't marry them. But see, the point is, that's not their land. But let's go on to the book of Leviticus. And Yahweh tells us of the outcome of what will take place. In the book of Leviticus, chapter 26. And I will start at 37 of 26. And they shall fall one upon another as it was before a sword, when none pursue it, and ye shall have no power to stand before your enemies. See, we don't have no power to stand before our enemies. Why? That's right. No matter they come down, beat on us, do whatever they want. Now let's go up to 17 of the same chapter. And I will set my face against you, and ye shall be slain before your enemies. They that hate you shall reign over you, and ye shall flee when none pursueth you. Isn't that happening to us? Why? Why? Okay, let's go to verse 3 of the same chapter and read to 7. Who's going to do that?
If you walk in my statutes and keep my commandments and do them, then I will give you rain in due seasons, and the land shall yield her increase, and the trees of the field shall yield their fruit. And your threshing shall reach unto the vintage, and the vintage shall reach unto the sowing time, and ye shall eat your bread to the full, and dwell in your land safely. And I will give peace in the land, and ye shall lie down, and none shall make you afraid. And I will rid evil,
and I will rid
evil beasts out of the lands, neither shall the sword go through your land. And ye shall chase your enemies, and they will fall before you by the sword.
By the sword. See, now, let's go now to verse 14 of that. But if ye will not hearken unto me and will not do all these commandments, see, that was the criteria. For you to have all what you needed, that was the criteria. Go ahead. 15 to 17. Start 15. Go ahead. Go ahead.
15 to 17?
And then, and if ye shall despise my statutes, or if your soul abhor my judgment, so that ye will not do all my commandments,
not some of it, all of it. Okay.
That ye break my covenant, I also will do this unto you. I will even appoint over you terror.
That's right, terror.
Consumption and the
burning orb
that shall consume the eyes, that cause sorrow of heart. And ye shall sow your seed in vain, for your enemies shall eat it. And I will set my face against you, and ye shall be slain before your enemies. They that hate you shall reign over you, and shall flee when none pursueth you.
That's right. See, so, go ahead.
And if ye will not...
Okay, that's it. So we can see. And it says, and if ye will not yet for all this hearken unto me, then will I punish you 7 times more for your sins. So it is all about us keeping these laws. Yahweh wants us to what? Now, we have to understand that Yahweh God is a magnificent God, and we are doing some things right now in our life, but I wanted to show you why we have failed. Now, but how will we begin to what? Recover. Let's go to Deuteronomy chapter 30. Starting Deuteronomy chapter 30. See, we starting to recover. Ain't nothing they can do about it. Yeah, see, starting from verse 1 to 3. What does it say?
Okay, and it shall come to pass when all these things are come upon thee the blessing and the curse which I have set before thee, and thou shalt call them to mind among all the nations, whether the Elohim thy Yahweh hath driven thee, and shalt return unto the Elohim thy Yahweh, and shalt obey his voice, according to all that I command thee this day, thou and thy children with all thy heart and with all thy soul. That then the Elohim thy Yahweh will turn thy captivity.
Turn that captivity. He didn't say turn slavery. He said turn your captivity. What's captive? That you've been forced to be in a place. He said he will turn your captivity. He didn't say turn your slavery. Because you are captive. Okay? See, turn that captivity and have compassion upon thee, and will return and gather thee from what? All nations, whether Yahweh thy God has scattered thee. So it's already started. This is in progress. All you got to do is do. And you're doing it. So you're turning the circumstances. Okay? And this is why Yahweh says in Psalm 37. Let's go to Psalm 37. See? Because, see, he wants you to do certain things, and this is how we find out what to do. This is the message. See, Yahweh is giving us the message. All we got to do is read in this book, and we'll find out exactly. No matter if they mad at us, they going to be mad. They mad because you know. Don't worry about that. You ain't taking nothing from them. Okay, Psalm 37, verse 7. What does it say? Psalm
in Yahweh.
What it says?
Rest in Yahweh. And wait patiently.
What? Patiently. In other words, be patient. Go ahead.
Fret not thyself before of him who prospereth.
No, what I said. It says, rest in Yahweh and wait patiently for him. Fret not thyself because of him who prosper in his ways, because of the man who bringeth wicked devices to pass. But he says, rest in Yahweh and wait patiently for him. See, we have to wait patiently. Not, well, he has to do it when we ready. No. Go down to verse 9. What does it say? Go ahead.
For evildoers shall be cut off, but those that wait upon Yahweh, thou shalt inherit the earth.
They shall inherit the earth. They shall inherit the earth. So Yahweh God wants to encourage us that we should wait for him patiently. You understand? Don't let, because you see the wealth in the earth, trigger you to do and break the law. You have to have even respect of this man's law. When you understand the importance of law, you respect law. Let them do what they want to do, but you respect the law. That's right. You understand? Because you are a Torah keeper, a law keeper, and you understand that his law is important for you to do and to execute righteousness in the earth. That's right. Whenever law is unbalanced, it causes a lot of trouble. You can't persecute one for the same thing and give one more than the other. Law got to be balanced. That's right. You do not, let me tell you something. An eye for an eye, tooth for a tooth, and burning for burning. That's how law goes. You do not deviate. Because a man has a, did he do what he said he did? Then what he did, he should be punished for. You don't put millions of people in prisons. Either there's a punishment for the crime, to where you don't have that overabundance of people being pushed up in cells. If he's a murderer and it is proven that he murdered without a doubt, then it's execute. They didn't execute that white boy that pulled that black guy behind the truck. They knew he did. There were many white people They got away with crimes. That's what slavery was about. That was a total, that was an era of so much crime. Who got paid for the crimes that was committed against them poor innocent slaves that they brought from Africa, that didn't ask to come here, and they mutilated them people. And you don't understand, it was a joy. They had pictures where all of them are sitting down pointing at the man with his neck like that's the, and they all, it was like, man, it was nothing better than to actually hang a black man. That was the greatest pastime of America besides what? Baseball. They got dressed up, had barbecues, kids ran around. You understand what I'm saying? And they had laws that they could not be punished. A law is supposed to bring balance. Remember, you went and got those people. If you didn't like them, you could have made the same boat that brought them there, could have been the same boat that took them back. So, YaH is going to punish them for the hideousness and diabolicalness and treachery that they promoted against them people that they brought here. That's right. Because they did a terrible thing. So we must tell our children that they must rest. Let's go in the book of Lamentation. Don't be afraid of telling the truth. Be afraid of telling the lie. And the truth is, they say not to live. This ain't about hate. This is about truth. And when we have an alternative with that truth. So if you have an alternative with the truth, you ain't gonna hurt. Our alternative is to keep the commandments of YaH. Because YaH gonna deal with them for what they've done to us. You understand? Just like they over in that land saying they want vengeance and it ain't their land. That ain't theirs. They fighting over what don't even belong to them. That's right. Murdering them people. They can't even die and think they're going to heaven. So let's go Lamentation chapter 3, verse 26.
Judah is gone into captivity.
What does it say? Lamentation chapter 3, verse 26.
It is good that a man should both hope and quietly wait for the salvation of YaH.
That's right. It is good. It is a very good thing when you understand and quietly wait. We have to quietly wait for YaH to save us out of this mess that we got ourselves in. You understand what I'm saying? That's why it says, even in the Apocrypha, he says in Barak, he says, suffer patiently. You understand? It's an aggravating thing. He says, suffer patiently. Don't be aggravated. You understand? Do what has been expected of you so that you might survive this. You understand what I'm saying? Because YaH got a whipping for these crafty, wicked people that have perpetrated such diabolical schemes upon this earth. He got a day for them. And as YaH says in Zephaniah, let's go to the book of Zephaniah. In the book of Zephaniah. That's right. Hey, YaH got something for them. Yeah, they got by, they ain't get away. Zephaniah chapter 8. Somebody read that. Zephaniah.
There's no chapter 8
Zephaniah chapter 3, I'm sorry. Verse 8.
Therefore wait ye upon me, said YaH, until the day that I rise up to the prey. For my determination is to gather the nations, that I may assemble the kingdoms, to pour upon them my indignation, even all my fierce anger.
You hear what I'm saying? He said all, not some of it. All of his fierce anger. You know, who can stand that? The fierce anger of God? Are you crazy? These people should go and all this wealth in the earth ain't gonna mean nothing. This is some scary stuff. YaH God said, therefore wait ye upon me, said YaH, until the day that I rise to the prey. For my determination is to gather the nations. Has he gathered the nation? Yes, he has. And we're going to see. Go ahead and read that. Finish reading that.
Okay. For all the earth shall be devoured with the fire of my jealousy.
That's right. Yahweh said that and where has Yahweh gathered them, that he's going to bring down his fierce indignation. He said, man, I'm going to deal with the nations of people. That's right. And the thing about it is that what you want to do is, if you go to Joel, Yahweh is assembling them. Joel chapter 3. Starting at what? Verse 1. What does it say? Joel chapter 3 verse 1. Let's see
For
it.
behold, in those days, and in that time, when I shall bring again the captivity of Judah and Jerusalem, I will also gather all nations, and I will bring them down to the valley of Jehoshaphat, and I will plead with them there for my people and for my heritage Israel, whom they have scattered among the nations and parted my land.
That land is parted. It ain't theirs. Go ahead. And it's whose land? Is Yahweh's land. That's right.
And they have cast lots for my people, and have given a boy for a harlot, and sold a girl for wine, that they might drink.
That's right. So he said, go down to verse 5.
Because ye have taken my silver, my gold, and have carried into your temples my goodly pleasant things. The children also of Judah and the children of Jerusalem have ye sold unto the Grecians, that ye might remove them far from their borders.
Yes, they did. Go ahead.
Right. Behold, I will arise them out of the place whither they have sold them, and will return your recompense upon your own head.
Go ahead.
And I will sell your sons and your daughters into the land of the children of Judah, and they shall sell them to the Sabaeans, to a people far off, for Yahweh hath spoken.
That's right. See, this is what's going to happen. Their children, just like they sold us, they're going to take them little children and sell them out so they can get out of the land, and they're going to go and they're going to, that's it. They sold us, spread us all over the place. That's why it said prepare slaughter for their children. Yeah. Read this book. This book will tell you, because they have not dealt rightly. They have not dealt rightly with us. And the thing about it is that we should be grateful that Yahweh God has told us the story. And we don't have to depend upon they so-called scholars. They're not going to tell you nothing. Go over there and try to get them to tell you. Go ahead, I did. Go ahead. Okay, and it says, therefore, behold, the day cometh, said Yahweh, that it shall no more be said, Yahweh liveth, that brought up the sons of Israel out of the land of Egypt. But Yahweh liveth. Jeremiah chapter 16, verse 14. But Yahweh liveth, that bringeth up the sons of Israel from the land of the north, and from all the lands whither he has driven them, and I will bring them again into their land that I have given to their fathers. Behold, I will send many fishers, and they shall, said Yahweh, and they shall fish for them. And after will I send many hunters, and they shall hunt for them. Every them from every mountain and from every hill, and out of the holes of the rocks. For my eyes are upon all their ways, they are not hid from my face, neither is their iniquities hid from me. It says, and first I will recompense their iniquities and their sin double, because they have defiled my land, they have fooled my inheritance with the carcasses of their detestable and abominable things. Yahweh my strength and my fortress and my refuge in the day of affliction. The Gentiles shall come unto thee from the ends of the earth, and shall say, surely our fathers have inherited lies, vanities, and things, wherein there is no profit. Shall a man make gods unto himself, and they are no gods? Therefore, behold, I will this once cause them to know. I will cause them to know my hand and my might, and they shall know that my name is Yahweh. So Yahweh is working a great work, and we should be very thankful, because Yahweh is doing a great and awesome thing, and Yahweh wants us to depend upon Him. Let go the hands of man, because the hands of man is a curse. And Yahweh said, those that, He says, thus said Yahweh, cursed be the man that trusts in man. And what does He say? Blessed be the man that trusts in Yahweh. See, so there's a blessing to trust in Yahweh. But if you trust in man, when you go to the doctor, put your trust in Yahweh. When you go to do what you need to do, don't put your trust in man. Put your trust in Yahweh, the Spirit of Yahweh. That when you go forward, you're going to be successful. You don't have to worry about failure. You only got to worry about failure when you break these commandments. That's all. It's not simple, but it's absolutely correct. You can't get into this without Yahweh's blessing. And Yahweh loves you. I love you. Love yourself a lot more. May Yahweh bless each and every one of us. And may we keep the commandments of Yahweh to do the will of our God. Yahweh Allah Hayama. 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 Shabbatah, Adniga, Quadwasha, Yahweh, Makabada, Shama'a, Shallah, Yahweh, Allah Hayanawa, Yahweh, Akhada. You gotta lie, Yahweh, you gotta lie, Allah Hayama, La'a, Ya'anaha, Latista Yakwa, Kaya, Shamasha, Magana, Yahweh, Allah Hayama, Khanaha, Malaka, Yahweh, Sabayaba, La Yura'a, Yawa, Wayacha, Latisma. Berwaka, Allahayama, Ashura, La'a, Yesayura, the Paladaya, Chasadawa, Adaya, Yatisra, Samawaka, Yatisra, Shalawama, Kaya, Baka, Bata, Baka, Bata, Kawa, Bayahawaha, Adaya, Adda. Kaya, Ayaha, Yahawaha, Tiswara, Apwalayama, Kaya, La'a, Nakasha, Vaya Akaba, Wala'a, Wasama, Vaya Shara, Allah. The Shabbatah, Adnika, the Quadwasha, Yahawaha, Makabada. May Yahweh continue to bless all of us by us keeping that Torah. May Yahweh open up our eyes that we might behold wondrous things. May Yahweh make us humble and meek. May Yahweh God, who is our strength and our life. May we behold wondrous things in that Torah. May we love our God eternally. May we stay in the straight and narrow path. Amen.